Welcome, Aquarius. I did a pre-shuffle for you and it was flowing, so I figured I would do. All right, so bear with me if I get a little passionate because it was a pretty remarkable, awesome reading. All right, here we go. The first and most important issue is something very alarming but exciting, but very significant that I believe is 100% true. Aquarius, you can, and all other astrological signs if anyone else is listening, I firmly believe that there is one simple law that that one simple rule that we must all respect. And in fact, as soon as we accept this rule, everyone will have their own way of adjusting to it. So basically, it's not a obligation on us, it's just a fact. And what it is, it's a truth about the area of our brain that we don't know right now enough about, but I'm going to reveal it to you right now, and I am sure of what I'm saying. It's almost like there was an instruction manual for the human brain, because we are definitely completely unaware of how it operates. There is something inside our brain. It's the subconscious, actually, and it's made up of two organs, the amygdala and the hippocampus, the subconscious mind. And it is like a very, very powerful, high performance sports car that we don't know how to operate. We don't even know how to turn it on. We don't know what kind of gas it takes, if it takes gas. There's other things that it will do and we don't know. There are things that that vehicle is doing that we can't see. Somebody has punched instructions into something very advanced. In fact, we're doing it. We're punching in instructions without knowing it. And it's so simple and it's so freeing when I tell you what this is. At this very moment, that part of your brain, every millisecond, it is measuring the vibration of your emotions, not your thought. It's very loyal and faithful to you. You don't know this, though. It is very focused on doing one thing every minute, every millisecond of the day, and we didn't know it until now. And here's what it does. So it measures the exact emotions and feelings, not thoughts, emotions, feelings, but also intentions, because you know that intentions have wands with them, have desires. Intentions usually have, either, um, a robust energy or a lusty, it's wands. So those are also feelings. They're not thoughts, they are intentions, feelings toward others or money or what have you. Big deal, right? Well, here's what it's doing with that. It is programmed. This is such a absolutely advanced part of your brain. You have no idea how brilliant you are as a body, but you haven't got the instruction manual, either because it was destroyed or it's being hoarded. Now, let's just go on, all right? So here's what it does, and you really need to believe me on this. The subconscious mind, I want you to think of it as your faithful wife, all right? Her husband are your feelings and emotions. So you guys don't speak. Remember, she is telepathic, and she is just picking up on all your vibes. And then her job, which she does very well to an exactitude, is to draw toward you because she believes that you are aware of this instruction. Her job is to do her very best, and she's always successful, to find things, people, circumstances, places, everything that you're going to eat, feel, touch, experience, everything will be matched at that frequency. And so that is what's happening right now. So now you know it's that simple. It's that simple. Now, in a minute, I'm going to make a few suggestions. When I said that's all you need to know, and all of you will have different ways of making sure. So you don't need to look. All you need to do. There is no other requirement, but to make sure that you at all times are feeling not angry, not jealous, not fearful, not vengeful, not lusty, well, actually, if you love someone, you can feel lusty, but there are certain, what lust is sex without love, okay? So that would be, if you don't love somebody, you don't care about them. I don't think a lot of women actually know what that is, because most women that I know, they won't have sex with people unless they're feeling love. But men tend to be really good at disconnecting, at putting, not connecting their right and left hemispheres of their brains. So they hurt a lot of people. Anyway, so stop doing that if you're doing it, because that energy is not good. So now let's move on from here. If you're one of those lucky people, I want you to stop right now and have a check-in. How are you feeling? For those of you who are feeling just very calm, excellent. If you can switch off, if you're not interested in hearing the other things, and only if right now you're feeling, so you don't need to go any further on this as long as you're just feeling peaceful, calm. You don't have to be feeling, exorbitantly happy. You don't have to be feeling elated. The idea here is not to have the feelings, thoughts, and intentions that vibrate at the frequency of the devil. Basically, that's what it is, all right? Now, for those of you who are listening to this reading, I am going to be streaming in 3 days or less alive, and I'm going to give you a free reading if you get to the end of this message, but it's got to be on this topic. If you are uncertain about, let's say, because while I was doing this reading earlier this afternoon, one of my female friends came over here, and I was telling her about what I was seeing in the reading, and her little face dropped, and I could see that she looked very worried and sad. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "Oh no, what about yesterday? I was crying and crying." And I had to literally pull some cards to prove this to her. Here's what she was crying about. When I first met her last year, she's one of the only female friends I've ever had that was really, she always spoke highly of her boyfriend. I never did get to meet him. He passed away very sadly. But here's what she would say. So as our friendship progressed, she started getting this desire. It was important to her that I meet her boyfriend. And, I'm a hermit, so I don't want to meet anybody. But that's how important it was. She loved him, and he was no angel, but she really loved him. And she was devastated when he died. So yesterday, the reason why she started crying was because I kind of sneakily started pulling some cards to see if I could, because when people pass away, there's only certain times when you can connect with their energy. It depends on where they are now and what they're doing, if they're waiting. And his energy was right there. And all the sorrow that he had missing her. And I almost never, maybe like once a year, I'll get one of these, a song. And it was, there was a song that I didn't know, but I hummed the lyrics to her, and it was a Metallica song, and there was also a Aerosmith song. Anyway, I'll tell you one of the things that happened. So when I Googled lyrics, what was I can't remember the name of the song now, but so we're playing the song on YouTube. I don't want to miss a thing or something like that. And you know how when you're looking, when you're playing these videos, some comments will come up and they'll keep, rolling. And all of a sudden, she's crying. I'm looking, and this message comes up with the tag was, I'm still here. But anyway, what she was worried about was she thought that because she was crying, that was negative energy. And I had to literally pull cards for her to show her, what was coming out mostly? The Ace of Cups. That's unconditional love. So let me tell you, so you might be thinking, well, what would the subconscious do to match that? Put quite simply, a miracle, some kind of a miracle. A miracle is coming in. Grace, forgiveness, a blessing. It's Ace of Cups energy. So imagine the emotion that was coming out of her was sorrow, loss. Actually, I'm choking up just thinking about it. I remember once I accidentally slammed the refrigerator door on Kit Kat's head, and I thought she was dead. Anyway, I just I dropped down to my knees. That kind of a situation. But what's interesting is it's pretty easy to gather up. You'll find hope and faith when someone or some soul, some little soulmate, cat or dog means that much to you when you really love them. So somebody who really loves her or God, somebody within. So what does this mean? So you get the idea. The lower vibrational energies are usually, there's some kind of malice or, maliciousness to them, or fear or judgment or feeling guilty. You get the idea, right? Don't think, it is, there are only very specific emotions that are directly, that subconscious mind will have to match it with something negative. Jealousy, fear. Fear is the biggest thing. Fear is the biggest problem. So we're gonna vacuum that out now. All right, stand by. So Aquarius, just pretend like you and I are having a private conversation right now, and just answer this with a yes or a no. Are you feeling completely worry-free? Yes or no? Okay, if you said yes, that's awesome. Hang in there and just hear me out for the rest of the reading for the yes people. For the no people, here's what I need you to do now. I want you to pause the recording, and I want you to make a list. I want you to pretend that you have the power of, you've got, 40 or 50 of those Aces of Cups miracles. What do you want God to do? 10 million miracles and one tiny little wish. They're both equally easy for God. And the idea here is you're going to pause the tape and don't turn it back on. I don't care if it takes until 2 days for you to turn the tape back on. When you resume playing, you've got to be able to guarantee God, promise God that if all these things are done, even if it's 150 miracles, if all those things are done, you are certain that you would be at peace. All right? So I'm just going to repeat the instructions again. You are not to worry about how. You are not to worry about why. You're not to worry about whether or not you think you deserve it. You have to assume that rules are here, that all things are possible. There's no limits on these miracles. This is the key part of the work. You will be 99% done when you do this. Spirit, allow you to be in our heads. God be in our understanding. God be in our eyes and in our looking. God be in our mouths and in our speaking. God be in our hearts and in our thinking. God be at our end. And at our departing. God, we love you so much. Thank you. Aquarius, it is done. It is done.